Hey, so let's talk about COVID-19. Are you a COVIDiot for going out, or are you a sheep for staying in? So let's look at this as a thought experiment. Imagine that anybody over the age of 75 will die if they're exposed to this disease. This is a thought experiment. I'm not saying the data says this is a fact. I'm just saying assume that if you're over 75 years old and you are exposed to this disease, that you die. Do you think that our actions would be more or less severe than they have been? It seems ridiculous that we wouldn't protect those over 75, that we would make the choice to shut down the entire economy, which is mostly composed of those under 75, to protect those of over 75 who really aren't in the economy generally. It seems insanity. I mean, it seems this is why there are conspiracy theories. People are dubious about the claims of governors and governments as to their intentions. So let's take a look at this through the lens of Illinois. First of all, how do the people of Illinois feel about the restrictions that their Governor Pritzker has imposed upon them? 93% approve. 3/4 strongly approve. They don't care if it's legal or not. What are the actual risks of this disease? So we can look at data from Cook County, which is, we can't get to Chicago, they don't release it, but here is Cook County, and you can see that, first of all, unless you're old or older, you are unlikely to have a serious effect from this disease. Also, unless you have a comorbidity, which is hypertension or diabetes, in other words, a sickness, you are also unlikely to die from this disease. So it appears to affect the elderly and sickly. How is our response in any way sensible? I mean, the governor of Illinois has unveiled a 5-step plan where his plan is step 5, in order to enable gatherings of more than 50 people, imagine a wedding, a funeral, any kind of an extended family event, gatherings of more than 50 people will not be allowed until there was a vaccine. There may never be a vaccine. SARS, MERS, decades ago, there's no vaccine for those illnesses. It's crazy that we're allowing these politicians to grab this power. I mean, everybody seems to have an agenda that they are just yearning for the opportunity to enact. Illinois residents don't seem to care that Pritzker is extending this lockdown. You know, the governor has emergency authority in Illinois, but it lasts for 30 days. The way they're getting around that is they're just renewing these 30-day periods every 30 days. This is a solution that is absolutely not going to work. I cast you back to our hypothetical. If everybody over 75 died upon exposure to this illness, what would we do? Would we do what we're doing now? What we're doing now is worse than what we would do if that hypothetical was in place. If you think about it through that perspective, you realize that what we're doing now is crazy. Wake up.